What's up, guys? A-Wing Bricks here, and I am here with another review. Yes, finally, after so long, I am finally coming out with a new review, and this time it is for One Stud's 327th Arc 170. Now, a little bit of backstory on this one. Um, I don't know. Well, I'm pretty sure most of you guys should know who. Well, who Republic Studs is. Now, he did a collaboration with One Stud where he got the Munilus 10 gunship from him. And with that, he also had his own discount code on the site too. That discount code was 15% off. Oh my god, that beeping. I need to fix that, but that that discount code was 15% off. This set was like $115. And that discount code allowed me to get this set for only $90. Well, I'm not sure if it was 15 or 20%, but you get the point. I got this set for only $93. Yep. Only $93 for a custom Mark 170. Now, does it hold up? Was it worth it for $93? That is what we're going to find out today. So, we're going to start off by just taking a good look at the ship itself. And this thing is massive. Like, for the longest time, in terms of like just the width of the ship, like from like the wingspan, was larger than every single set in my collection. Like, this thing is huge. Of course, now that I have a Republic gunship and such, those have been rivaling its size. But this thing is huge. The wingspan is so freaking, like, look at the wingspan on this thing. I can't really even fit it all into my display, into like my desk area. Like, that is how massive this thing is. Now, in terms of piece count, I believe this was only like 400 or so pieces, maybe more. But overall, this thing is so freaking awesome. Like, you got a bunch of, well, you got the features that were already there in the set. Like, you got the missiles, which from this side can be pushed out with this thing. If you heard that, yep, they can get pushed out with that. And this gear right here also has a second functionality too, which allows you to open up the wings. Now, it's a very slow process, but you can see right there, the wings are opening up. Oh yeah, the wings can open up on this thing very nicely. Now, unfortunately, it can't really be in a landed position like this, and it makes the set even larger, but, you know, that's just how this is. So, yeah. That is the main part of the set. Now, back here, we have some, like, lasers and stuff, and we have the cockpit areas, which are decent enough. They fit well enough, but they're not very accurate to the vehicle, and I'm pretty sure that's the main reason why he decided to change it. Now, you can fit minifigures in here. If you saw in the beginning of the video, I had a bunch of ARC 170 pilots in this thing. But yeah, they're not really the most accurate cockpits in the world, but it doesn't rile me up very much. And in the future, I do plan to get that new version he made, so we will be able to compare those two. But overall, it's pretty good. Now, there are a few errors. I don't know if you've been noticing, like, the gray pieces back here, or some of the pieces on the ship being yellowed. But that's what we're going to get into now. So, from my experience building one stud vehicles, his pieces suffer from a general lack of piece quality. Now, what I mean by that is a lot of the pieces in this thing came out very yellowed, or came in yellowed, or there were just missing pieces of some kind. Now, I believe he has somewhat bumped up his like piece quality control, and obviously since he's putting some of these things in boxes, he kind of has to up his piece quality control. Goddamn beeping, but yeah, I think I don't know. It's just not doesn't really feel very right to me. Like knowing that just seeing the yellowed pieces. I don't know if you can see some of them on camera, but some of these pieces in the front here are like yellowed or and such. There are some yellowed pieces behind. My camera just doesn't really do them justice. And the worst offenders of this were the slope pieces back here, which I had to replace with these gray pieces because the slope was yellowed and I couldn't find another white one at all in my collection. So I had to replace them with the gray slopes because it looked so bad. Like it was ridiculous. And this set, it did cause me some trouble building it. But again, this set is a custom set by One Stud, and for the most part, the set's not really supposed to be like the best thing in the world. It's mostly just supposed to be army filler or like playthings. That's why his sets end up coming out so cheap because they're not supposed to be for like hardcore collectors that want literally every single Legion. For that, you can go to Republic Bricks, but One Stud focuses mainly on play sets. If the set doesn't really play as well, he will go in and fix that. Because his models aren't really like. His models are pretty stable though, overall. Like, they feel like they will. And this thing is specifically, it feels like it can take a beating. And it definitely can take a beating. But that also comes at a cost due to design. And yeah, obviously his remade one fixes the cockpit issue. But then there are also things where the playability doesn't actually really make much sense unless you yourself mod this thing. Now I don't know if you noticed, but I do have like rubber bands in these things, and I had to scrap together whatever rubber bands I had on like standby for this. But yeah, you have to put in your own rubber bands for this model, and that's just so that the wings don't go down unnecessarily. When you fly this thing without rubber bands, these bottom wings will fall down and they won't look good. Especially if you're trying to make a good and accurate sort of, Arc 170 scene where the S-foils open up and there you go. You can pew away at whatever droid ships you're going after. But a lot of this is also not really, it wouldn't be the same for everybody. Like, obviously having some yellow pieces give me a little OCD, but it's fine by me. And some others I could definitely see agreeing. And even though I had a missing piece and I had to replace both of them, overall the building experience was kind of fun. It was more fun than basically a lot of stuff that I built before. Because it's not just putting random pieces together and then seeing that they come together into a model. In this case, because this one's heavily based off the Lego model, it felt kind of like I was building a Lego model, but just all the bags were in one bag, and I had to sort through everything. But the building experience was overall pretty fun, and while I didn't get the instructions immediately because they were actually working on the instructions in the meantime, so they had to send me the 41st version, that only deterred me a few times, and every single time it was usually pieces that the 41st just left white. But even so, that didn't really hurt the experience. It was just a tougher build than usual, and this was fun. And yeah. So, overall, what do I think about the set? Well, if I'm being completely honest, I think it's great. Like, for a set that was made, like, I would say pretty early on in One Stud's lifetime, because now his set business has been growing even faster and larger, and he's been doing even more stuff than just these. But overall, for one of the first models of One Stud's design, this was pretty damn good. There were a lot of issues with it because obviously you're gonna have issues when your cockpits look like this. But overall, this was pretty good. And I'm probably going to get the One Stud's 327th remade ARC 170. So I can do a good comparison between the two. And it fits very well with my little 327th Army over here. So yeah. This has been A-Wing Bricks signing off. See you later, everybody.